Hello, everyone. We are in dose 3, Elixir 5. So excited. This Elixir is all about your mega dose, your granddaddy program, your high-end coaching. And this dose 3, we are going to dive into mastering the discovery session. What is that? Well, it's the prep for yes. Now, we're going to cover how to host the discovery session, what to say, I'm going to give you a script, how to close, and the importance of preparation. The art of overcoming objections, which is just going to be a very quick gloss over, zoomed out. We have a full dive in the next dose 4. And we're going to be talking about the enrollment, which is the contract. Now, zooming right in to how to host this bad boy. Guys, this is coming out of your Vishita talk or any type of workshop or any document which is inviting them for a discovery session. The discovery session is talking it out. I'm going to show you exactly how with your applicant to determine if the program you have, your high-end program, which is at least $1,000, hopefully 5, at least 5. But you can do it for 1. It's up to you when you first start out, but you can do this. It's a 6-month program. Again, this is the discovery session where you're going to be talking to the person on the phone or via video. So the first step is to choose how you want to talk to them. What program do you want to use? You can use audio only, Skype, phone, WhatsApp, or via turning off your screen and doing a Zoom call, or with video. Now, I only recommend doing with video when you're comfortable enough. It's not recommended at first. There's too many innuendos, quite frankly, to do that. I would absolutely 100% suggest until you've done 2 or 3 years worth of 6-month programs that your discovery sessions be audio only, primarily because you're going to be referencing on the call the application that the person submitted, as well as that we went over in dose 2, as well as the contract, which is the program. And to be referencing those things and communicating in the way that you need to if there's video is simply too much. So again, this discovery session is a call. How you host the call is up to you. Could be using Skype, could be regular phone, could be WhatsApp, and it could be a no screened Zoom call or any other provider that does this. Now, you're going to follow the script, which is their application plus the enrollment form. Okay. And you're going to make it your own. So again, what are you talking about? What's the script? It's reviewing their application that they filled out that we talked about in dose 2, plus the enrollment form. And I'm going to provide you both, okay, in the handouts area of this dose. You're going to personalize that and make it your own. Now it's up to you how long you want the discovery session to be. I chose 44 minutes because I love the angel number. It implies that it's going to be a little bit longer than half an hour, but respectful of encroaching on that hour boundary. Now, we are going to talk about in a second how to prepare beforehand for the discovery session, but let's just get right into what to say during, and of course, how to close. So the zoomed out approach is they have a problem for which they're having a discovery session about the potential solution, for which you're showing them that there is a problem if they do not join your program, meaning they're still going to have these obstacles. You're going to give them illumination into what their problems are, how to fix it, and then the only thing they need to solve is the actual problem of not doing the program. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. People come up with objections that aren't really real if they are interested. And so it's your job to help them over that problem into your program. So to do this, you want to listen to them. Have them vocalize their obstacles. Again, guys, this is the DOVE process. The desire, obstacle, value, extend. Have them vocalize their obstacles. You do this through referencing their application. They applied. What did they say? You can reference. I wouldn't go into detail on each one, but you can highlight like, oh, wow, you said here that in 5 years you hope to, and you can say, tell me about that, right? So again, vocalizing their obstacles, vocalizing their desires by referencing their application, and then asking open-ended questions and letting them speak. So you're going to do that for the first half of however long the session is. Is it an hour? Is it 44 minutes? I don't think you could get it done in less than half an hour. I would do error on the 45-minute side. The point is you want to get them dreaming of solutions based on the transformation which your program provides, and you're going to be the bridge. Okay. Now, you're only going to spend half the allotted time on listening to them. The second half, you're going to be spending time explaining the program via the contract enrollment form. Now you tell them, don't worry, I'm going to send all of this information to you. I'm so sorry. I need to get out of here. I'm blowing up on Facebook. Really, it's just been incredible. I've had 30 people ask to join the assisting frequency group in the last 45 minutes. Going viral, guys. So let's see where, hopefully you can still see my screen here. I'm sharing my screen, I hope. Let me just make sure. Share screen. There we go. All right, guys, sorry. So you want to spend half the time explaining the program. And that is the contract/enrollment form. As I said, you're going to tell them ahead of time, don't worry. You will be receiving the outline that I'm going over with you today. Okay. You don't have to take notes. Just sit back and take it all in, type of thing. Okay. That's what I always at least tell people, because otherwise, if they're overwhelmed when you start talking about the program and how amazing it is, they may, if they think they have to remember all of that, it's too much. Okay. So again, the script for the discovery session is their application plus the contract enrollment form. Now, the importance of preparation when you do a discovery session. Take the time to read their application before you have your call. Each person has different needs. You want to dim down the things that they've already got and highlight the things that they're in need of. Okay, this is where the business mastery scale on my application is so important. You will have your own mastery scale based on your micro niche. You know, how stressed out are you? How, whatever issue you're helping them with, you want to get a gauge for the things that they're really looking for. They're going to tell you what's important. And you're going to reflect that in the conversation with the discovery session. So again, do refresh what their goals are, what their obstacles are, what they've told you by reading the person's application ahead of time. That way you can address their obstacles head on, okay, which will alleviate any resistance to joining your program. Now, we are going to talk about overcoming objections in entirety in dose 4, but you can then highlight their goals and underscore how your program is the gateway to what they need. Again, by making the first half about open-ended questions based on their desires and obstacles from the application, which I have the template for you, and highlighting bridging the gap into talking about the second half, what your program is, using the contract enrollment form, which outlines your program. Now, if money isn't an issue for someone, you wouldn't spend time overcoming that obstacle. This is the importance of preparation. If you already know that in their obstacles, they aren't listing financial obstacles, then assume that they are wealthy enough to pay for your program, which means you won't be talking about the benefits of overcoming money obstacles, of lack energy. Whereas if someone's saying, man, you know, I need to find a program to do whatever it is you're going to show me so that I can come to a place of abundance in my life, then obviously that is an issue with that person. And it's something that you would spend time on overcoming. So the point here is tailor the interview for the person you're speaking to based on their application, and highlight the validity and value of your program in the second half of the discovery session based on the enrollment / contract that I provide you. So basically by the end, when you say you've been accepted based on your application, this program is good for you, they're going to feel like they've won, that they got the job, even though they're deciding to enroll. Okay. They're deciding to go for their degree, so to speak, in whatever it is you're teaching them. So again, dose 4, we're going to get into specific scenarios and how to overcome them. And I will give you a worksheet, a helpful guide to be able to look at scenarios. Because guys, the art of enrollment is paramount in closing the deal. I highly recommend you go to the Vishita training, the bonus material. There's a whole cycle about the art of enrollment. Take the time, get good at that. The better you are at that, the more people will enroll in your programs. And it can be the single reason why your business doesn't end up providing for you if you somehow don't cultivate that skill as a closer. And I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of us. Go into the shadow work bonus, addressing that. We've been conditioned to think when someone's selling us something that that's what they're doing. They're providing us an opportunity. We can take it or not based on what it is they're giving us. Absolutely. It's in the choice of the consumer to do so. You are simply giving them all of the information they need to make the best decision for themselves. So people do have all sorts of excuses, time limitations, money limitations, lack of self-confidence. Again, we'll go into specific scenarios on how to overcome each of these in dose 4. But the key is they are all just excuses, because if they want to enroll in your program, they will, provided you've addressed any resistance. Now, if they truly don't feel it's a good fit, which is rare, you should let them go. But it's your job to decipher what is sabotage, which is most of the time, versus a lack of interest, because quite frankly, they would have never applied in the first place if they weren't interested, right? So more than likely, it's just self-sabotage. So let's talk through the contract and we'll wrap up this dose. I've provided you an example of the contract in the Member Center, and it serves 2 purposes. One is to explain the program during the discovery session. You need a template to look at and reference and pull information out. Now, obviously, you don't want to read it verbatim and then people tune out. No, you want to bring some life to it. But the point is, it's very nice to have this document where you can go, oh, and then we're going to do this and this and this to reference. And that's essentially the script for the second half of your discovery session. And the other part of the enrollment contract is to send it to them as the registration form. It's how they enroll in the program. So afterwards, they can actually enroll and it becomes the contract. Now, I do want to highlight one element of the contract. And Just trying to get there. I thought I had it opened. Maybe I don't. Registration form. Here we go. Okay, so this is called sample registration form template. You will update it for your own needs. I want to point out, obviously, you change the header to your own header. This is just the template, so you can see what I've done and change it to, the name of your program. Keep the things you like, change the words that you don't. Don't use magic and doses and all of that. That's not what you do, but you absolutely can keep this, week 1. This is all about on-demand learning and mindset. Week 2 of every cycle is going to be about guides and processes, which is a strategy. Week 3, week 4, etc. Is there a personal session live with you? Details about that. Now, overarching elixirs. You won't call them elixirs. You'll call them cycles or phases or segments or chapters or modules or levels, whatever you want to do. And again, this is where you're going to update into what your program is all about delivering, okay? And you're going to briefly touch on it all the way through 5 and 6. Okay, now we're going to talk about bonuses in dose 6. So we're going to leave that out. Just know that's there for you. Now at the bottom is the contract, right? Here's the pricing. It's important that you position the value, the fact that most programs are over $10,000 for a 6-month immersion, but that this one isn't, and that there's 2 payment plans. You really want to make sure that the cost is higher if they do per month payments and lower if they pay all at once, to incentivize them to pay all at once. You aren't in the job of receiving monthly payments. That's not where you want to be. You want to have it all up front. Now, I wanted to highlight, we're going to talk about this in the next dose, the art of overcoming objections, the exclusivity, the 24-hour discount, if you will, which brings the price, $500 off if they decide in the next 24 hours, which also means you're going to get a yes or no within 24 hours. Who in their right mind would say, actually, on day 3, I've decided yes, and I have to pay $500 more, right? So you're essentially asking them with this 24-hour discount to decide in the next day, which is amazing. All in or not, and that's okay. Right? And the other option is, okay, that's your price, right? But what is needed to make it work? How could they make it work if this is just not an option whatsoever? Now, guys, you can take this out based on their application or put it in based on their application. You'll have a template form, develop name of your program, registration form, document, template for each person. And, whatever you are called to work out with this person, you can even take things out of the program. For example, well, I understand that your budget is only $3,000. And do I talk about this later? Bonus improvements on demand. Yes, we're going to talk about it in Elixir dose 6, but I'll just briefly touch on it and we can reiterate later. A custom plan based on people's budgets doesn't mean that they only get the for $3,000 they only get the training week and the handouts. Could be, right? The point is you can work with someone. Ask and you shall receive based on what they can do. Meet them where they are. And then of course, it's the info that you need. Now, here's the last thing I want to say in this dose, and then we'll go. This is the critical information, the fine print that you do not want to leave out. You must leave it in. Do not be tempted to take it off. Change it a little bit. Obviously you wouldn't have deploy your magic program. I hereby commit my being into name of your program. I understand and agree to the payment plan, which I have selected, and I realize I have 3 days from signing to receive a full refund, after which I will be fully responsible for the entire financial commitment, regardless of my participation in the program. That is the big highlight, regardless of my participation in the program. I understand that a sacred space admittance has been made. I am fully in and ready for this transformation. Why do you need that, you may say? Because you are a transformation catalyst. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And you are not in the business of guaranteeing results for a transformation that is out of your hands. You are just the illuminator. It is up to them to actually do and work the process and the strategies and the tactics that you have for your students. For that reason, it's not unheard of that someone purchases and decides not to participate at all. So they have a 3-day window. They're signing that they understand, regardless of my participation, I've made an investment. And if I choose not to participate, there is no refund. I know that seems a little harsh, but guys, it's happened 3 times now in the last four years. There have been 3 different students who have said, oh yeah, whatever it was. And it was an excuse. It was a self-sabotage. It was either lack of confidence on their end that they could do it, or a time barrier that they were putting in front of them, because whatever it was, it was suddenly that they weren't going to do the program. I'm so sorry, there's no refund. That's just the way it is, guys. You don't want to have your financial security dependent on other people's ability to actuate the reality you're giving them. If your process works, if they do it, then they've bought it, and that's done. It's not based on if you actually succeed and then, so I hope that's clear. Don't take that out. They have 3 days from when they do it till they say, if they want to keep doing it, it's a contract. Save these signed contracts in a folder. You want to keep them. It's a legally binding contract that says after the 3 days, you're in. Regardless, there is no refund. You're fully responsible for the entire financial commitment, regardless of your participation in the program. And guys, this is digital. It's evergreen. It's going to be on demand forever. So who are you to know if they took the information in or not? If they say, oh, I'm not going to do the program, they still have the information. You've already given it to them. It's like giving someone a plate of food and they eat it and then they say, I don't want that. Well, you've already given it to them. You can't take it back, right? So again, I hope that makes sense. Keep that in there. Make sure you change the header and footer. A digital copy must be sent to, make sure you update the email address to yours. A hard copy postmarked must be sent by at a cutoff day. Okay. You want them to print it out and physically sign it and mail it to you, and or take a photo of a signed copy so you have it, and a digital signature will do to secure the 24-hour discount. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else left in this dose. I think we are done. It's your turn to customize the enrollment form or the contract form that explains your high-end microdose program. Now, keep in mind, you aren't creating content. It's a wireframe of what you're going to be teaching, and a very helpful process to see, oh, this is how I could break it up. And this is what my program could be. It's a roadmap. Okay. Using what I've done as a template, adjust it to fit your program. Make sure you read it once, twice, thrice. You want to make sure that there's nothing in there that's mine that would throw people off. Look at all the fine print, update everything, save it. It's your contract template, contract/enrollment. You don't call it a contract to your student. You call it an enrollment form or a registration form, but it essentially is a contract. Again, you will be referencing it alongside their application in the first half during the discovery session, where you listen to them For the first half, ask them open-ended questions that highlight their desire and obstacles so that you can bridge into, based on that information, the solution, which is your high-end program. So guys, that's it. And we are going to be diving into overcoming objections in dose 4 in entirety. So don't stress if you're like, man, how am I ever going to get good at this? That's what dose 4 is all about. And so far we've done the what, we've done the application, we've done the discovery session, and we're headed into dose 4, overcoming objections. We will round out the Elixir 5 with dose 5 and 6, talking about program logistics. Okay, this is member center and delivering what you say, right? Hosting the actual high-end program, your mega dose. And then dose 6, bonus considerations, improvements, and potential on-demand structure. Okay, guys, I will see you in dose 4 when you're ready. Mwah, mwah. Bye for now.